We're very fortunate this evening on Pop Shop to have managed to get hold of Jonathan Selby just before he goes on stage to do a live performance with his band Petit Cheval. So, Jonathan, let's find out one thing now. Not too many bands come out of Pretoria, and I want to know why Petit Cheval is the one that's actually managed to succeed.
I don't know, Chris, basically, if you think about what was said on the radio just a while ago about so many good bands coming out of Cape Town, I don't know, it's difficult to answer that one. I suppose if one had to go to Pretoria, you'd see that there's a lot of very, very prominent talent there. In fact, some of the best musicians in this country happen to have come out of Pretoria. But why an original band as such hasn't succeeded yet, I don't know. I really don't know.
But another thing that makes me wonder why it is Pretoria that actually brings out musicians, there aren't all that many venues there for musicians, are there?
No, they're not very many. No, I agree. I suppose that most of them do seem to gravitate towards a place like Johannesburg. At least that's what I've done. At least Johan, our bass player, has done that. And all the rest of the guys, Danny comes from Germiston, and Craig from Canada. So that's a pretty long journey for him. And Sheldon, where does Sheldon come from? Benoni.
Benoni, yeah. Well, that also sounds like a good place to come from.
Yeah, we've got a very good cultural mix here, I must tell you.
Right. Well, speaking of culture then, the kind of music that you are writing for the band, is it South African, is it African, is it international, what is it?
Chris, when I was young and so on, I can't deny the fact that most of my listening was done on the radio, and especially white-orientated radios. So a lot of my taste in that does gravitate towards overseas bands. And I can't really deny the fact that basically I have had a kind of a bourgeois existence. I've led a comfortable family life. I haven't really experienced those hardships in the townships. So it's difficult for me really to relate to black music as such, although I do enjoy a certain amount of black music. One of my favorite jive bands, for example, is Mapanzula. But I would say definitely that my taste anyway lies, I'm pretty eclectic in that taste as well, generally lies in overseas. And I think that goes with all the guys in the band for that matter.
But are you doing the writing for the band?
As such, yeah. What happens is the band arranges the songs, and the end product is basically what you hear on vinyl and what you're going to hear on stage tonight.
Do you have any specific influences that have led you to things like Once in a Lifetime?
When I wrote Once in a Lifetime, I was very depressed. And it basically had a lot to do with the economic situation in this country. The lyrics are rather dark and ominous in many ways, but underneath all those lyrics, if you listen carefully enough and you discern what's going on, you'll find that there is that underlying ray of hope. And I think that's present in most of my songs. I seem to believe that people are inherently evil, but I believe that there is that goodness, that essential goodness and those morals that are deep somewhere.
And looking at the live performance of Petit Cheval, the kind of clothes you guys wear, the kind of makeup, are you basing yourselves on any of the sort of glam rock bands of the past?
We are purely and foremostly a fantasy band more than anything else. When people come and see us, all we want to do basically is take them away from everyday, their mundane lives and whatever else bothers them, and just to let their minds slip into some other form of perhaps entertainment. Basically, we are entertainers. When we get on stage, I feel that in most cases with rock bands in general, when you are under lights, when you are scrutinized by an audience, you have to entertain. You are entertainers. The mere fact that we happen to be attired like this is just a fantasy more than anything else. And it's become for us a sort of overindulgent fantasy, but if you take this kind of clothes and you go back to the time when this clothes was very relevant, in fact, this is when the real men were about, because there used to be duels and people used to kill each other at mere insults. So for me, I think to put on makeup anyway is very smart.
Okay, I don't want to keep you from your live performance, Jonathan, so let's take a look at the video of Once in a Lifetime.
Thanks very much, Chris.